everyone. Happy Thursday. I hope everyone's having a awesome week. I hope everyone also have a awesome Friday that's coming up. I just want to take a couple minutes before we get started in our class to basically talk about how is your highs today. Do you have any highs? Please share below down in the comments if you have any highs or anything that you would like to share with us today or so forth. Again, if you can't hear me, I apologize. People are getting their dumpster emptied next door. So again, if you have any highs, please share them below. I am going to be very transparent with you. I really have been struggling with trying to find positive things today. So some helpful tips and traits if you've been struggling just trying to stay uplifted or inspired or so. I actually wrote down 2 tips that usually help me just to get started. We'll start talking about the lesson in 4 minutes, but if you're having any issues with like anxiety or just trying to be positive, some things that help me is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. So if you're having any issue trying to stay grounded or just basically get back to your root, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, you can 1, be aware of your breathing. So again, you can take a deep breath in and out. If you want to take this moment with me to breathe, you can. If you want to practice this with me too, you can. So after you take a couple deep breaths, you are going to notice 5 things around you. So look around your room, find 5 things. After you find those 5 things, then you're going to find 4 things that you can feel. Alright? 4 things you can feel. Then, after you find 4 things you can feel, you're then going to find 3 things you can hear. Currently, you can probably hear the dumpster truck. So you can use that as 1 to 3 things you can hear. Then you're going to find 2 things you can smell. And then last thing to wrap up this 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is the final one is you say 1 positive affirmation towards yourself. Alright, so going over those steps again for the method: 5 things that are around you, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and then 1 positive affirmation about yourself. If you're having any issues with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, you can always just do the breathing technique. And this breathing technique is 2, 7, 8. Alright? So the breathing technique is you inhale for 2, 1, 2. You hold for 7. And then you exhale for 8. Alright, so I'll go over these quick numbers one more time and then we'll hop right into our lesson. Alright, so if you decide to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, I already gave you that list. And if you decide to do the breathing method, is 2, inhale, hold for 7, and then exhale for 8. Alright, y'all, so I hope that helps if you're struggling with any anxiety or unsureness, or just waking up on the wrong side of the bed. But again, if you have any positive things that you would like to share, maybe you bought a new plant, maybe you experiment with a new recipe, please comment below. Alright, so we had opportunity to practice some mindfulness. Now let's hop right into our lesson. So the lesson today is inspired by Louise Nelson. So Louise Nelson is actually an American sculptor who is known for her assemblage. So this is how you spell her name, Louise Nelson. She is known for her assemblages or so. She's an American sculptor. A lot of her images or so are found objects, like wooden pieces, things that you recycle. That's actually how she got her start in the 70s. She just literally picked things up off the street actually glued them down, hammered them down into some type of box, and then she painted it one solid color, one monochromatic color. And today we're going to actually do a similar project, but we'll be experimenting with different types of things. So friends, if I have your attention, the materials that you will need are cardboard, and I'm thinking I should just do 1,000 ways to use cardboard because I noticed this is always in my lesson. So you'll need cardboard, you'll need a pair of scissors, you'll need also emerald glue, hot glue, super glue, something that you can use to glue down your items. And then last but not least, actually this is not last, but something that I know for a fact you'll probably have to have at home is paint. So pick out one color that you like. It can be red, green, yellow, blue, but you just need one solid color. For this project, I'll be using blue. And then the objects that you'll need for this project is just actually random things that you can find around the home. So for example, you can use leftover buttons. You can use small children toys that your kid may not use anymore. You can use water bottle caps for this project. You can also use random sticks or wood by chance, like toothpicks, popsicle sticks, and or scrap wood that you may have laying around the studio or crafting. Pom-poms if you want like a soft aspect of it. And then last but not least, if you do not have any of these materials like random toys or buttons or bottle caps laying around, you can always just use cardboard, and you can cut it down to the different shapes and designs that you like. Alright, so again, the materials that you will need for this project that are essential are cardboard, scissors, super glue, hot glue or emerald glue, and then a tube of paint of the color of your choosing. And then all the random miscellaneous things are things that you can find at your home, from buttons, small toys, bottle caps, wood, and if you can't find them, you can use cardboard. Alright, so I have actually started one so far. So your first step is to pick out the shape and size of your backing. So again, your cardboard piece can be small, medium, or large. I am deciding to do more of a longer piece, so I'm trying to do a longer piece. Alright, so again, when you have all your materials gathered up, you're going to start kind of making a frame on your cardboard or some type of backing. So if you look closely, you can see that I already started gluing some of my miscellaneous pieces down. So again, I am using buttons and bottle caps, and I'm going to start creating a frame using the buttons, and then I'm going to fill in the space with my miscellaneous pieces from wood, small toys, and or pom-poms. Alright, so your first step is to pick out your backing. It can either be a circle, or it can be a square, or it can be a rectangle, but either way you go, you need something very sturdy. Okay, then you're going to begin gluing down your miscellaneous pieces. So I am actually going to start with my buttons, and I'm also going to show you how you can use cardboard as well if you do not have the miscellaneous things that I'll list below. Okay, so I'm taking my handy dandy super glue, taking my found object, and I'm going to begin my assemblage. I hope everyone's having an awesome Thursday. Please let me know how is your evening going down below in the comments. Okay, so you can see that I'm starting to add my miscellaneous pieces right here, creating my frame. So I'm just adding a touch of super glue and then I'm pressing my button down. My goal is to fill the whole piece of cardboard, and that should be your goal as well. So whenever you decide what size backing, it can be small, medium, or large, you're then going to begin trying to fill the space. If you want to take this time and look up Louise Nelson, her name is Louise Nelson. She has some awesome examples of her assemblage, and she's also known as the boxy lady. Okay. Huh. That button's pretty cool. Okay. So again, grab your backing, your cardboard, and begin gluing down your items to create a frame. I hope everyone again is having an awesome Thursday. Okay. Alright, again, if you get your hands sticky with your glue or anything like that, all you need is a handy dandy paper towel. Wipe your fingers dry. This project can get a little messy, but remember, dot, not a lot, usually works out. So again, take your backing and start beginning gluing down your found objects. And if you're wondering, where did I get all these buttons? I actually picked up a container that has like a good amount located right here from your local Dollar Tree. Okay. Alright, so again, I'm just still gluing things down. Okay. How many people are really excited at the fact that it's not raining today? Like, it's a little gloomy, but it's also really nice at the fact that it's not a thunderstorm today as well. Okay. Again, I'm still gluing down my buttons, creating that frame. So fun fact about this project is definitely really good with like younger kids, like toddlers and kindergartners, because it's really good with sensory. So if you want to turn this into like a learning lesson for younger kids, that's always an option as well. You can always practice sensory, also practice color with them too. Like, I feel like this is definitely a project that all ages can enjoy. Alright, y'all. So just show you a little bit what I'm still doing. I'm still adding my buttons, creating that frame. So fun thing that I noticed about putting down each piece is kind of like you're creating a puzzle, if that makes sense. Like, you're trying to figure out where things can fit in. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. Whoa. A little sticky. Alrighty. Still gluing down my buttons. If you want to switch the pace and not just glue down your frame, you're always welcome to skip around and start adding things in your center area as well. So the best way to start the project is always start with your larger items, then you work down to your medium items, and then your smaller items, so it'll fit together better as a puzzle. So currently I am starting with just some buttons. I just want to create my frame. That's about it. But if you're deciding that you want to start or don't know where to start, always start with your larger items, then your medium items, and then your smaller items onto your backing. It's very fascinating that Louise was known as like being like, I guess, creating a new style. So down below, if you have like a famous artist that a lot of people really don't know about, like it can be from music, it can be from visual, it can even be like an athlete. Like how many people have like created history but we don't know their names? So comment below, maybe there's a person that you would like to highlight today. Okay, so far I have all these buttons and I'm going to continue to add more. I'm sorry for the friends who are sewers. Again, no buttons were harmed in this process. Alright, thank you so much for joining. Who knew that like putting together buttons will like look so cool? Like in my mind, they just kind of look like little polka dots going around the frame. So far what I'm going to do, I'm going to continue my buttons going down here, put some extra ones on the side because I have that gap, and then I'm going to go into the middle and start adding my fun medium-sized pieces. If you can look, I'm kind of working backwards, so I'm kind of doing the smaller pieces, then I'm going to do medium, and then I'm going to go for more of the large. Again, down below, if you want to take a moment and comment who is your favorite artist, that'll be fantastic. Okay, so currently I'm adding my found objects to my background. Again, you can use cardboard because it's very sturdy. Also, I feel like everyone have at least like one cardboard box in their home. If you do not have a cardboard box, you can always do this project in a shoebox. She's actually known for doing a lot of her works in boxes, so that would be fantastic. If you decide to do that route, I would love for you to share that with us. Still adding glue to my frame to create that frame effect. One thing about this project as well, that you're probably noticing that I'm going in a very like uniform manner. So you can see that I'm kind of like creating like some type of order. If you do not want your project to be like that, you can always just take different pieces, glue them about, and take it from there. So again, it doesn't have to be as organized as mine. It don't have to create like as clean cut. But again, if you want more of that random effect, just glue them down. Just like take your piece, plop it in the middle, and take it from there. Thank you again for everyone joining me today. Something that I talked about earlier, if you're just joining me right now, if you're having any issues dealing with stress or dealing with what's happening in the world, you can always try the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method at home to help practice grounding if you're just feeling stressed. And this method is find 5 things that are around you, 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and then last but not least, 1 positive affirmation about yourself. Again, just some helpful tips and tricks if you're trying to figure out how to cope with stress. Alright, so far you can see that I added a lot of buttons, but I added a little more glue. I'm going to go back and add my found objects. Placing it down. Again, it doesn't matter which way you place it, but in an order, if you need one, you should always start with large, medium, and then small. Who knew that you can create so many awesome pieces of work from found objects? If you have ever created a project or a thing at home from something that you randomly found, maybe you made a pair of pants into like a 2-piece suit, or maybe you even found an old bookshelf and converted it into something else. Like, what's some interesting projects that you took and you upcycled? Alright, still adding my found objects. Perfect. Alright, so as you can see, I have my buttons placed down. Now I'm going to start taking my children's toys and I'm going to glue them randomly in the middle of my buttons. Huh! It has a little snake. I'm not sure how many people like snakes, but if you like snakes or frogs or even cute little turtles, let me know. Huh, is this an alligator? Maybe. Alright, so again, taking my handy dandy tools and toys, and I'm randomly scattering them about in my project. Okay, so far I picked up 4 toys. I have the frog, the snake, the alligator, and the turtle. Alright, adding a little glue onto my cardboard. Okay, so currently I'm just gluing down my toys. Alright, if you decide to use a hot glue gun, again, just be very cautious. No one should get harmed during this project. But again, if you're using hot glue, that's awesome because it dries quicker and can definitely avoid less mess. So far I have my snake and my frog glued down. And I'm going to glue down my turtle. far I have my turtle glued down. Then I'm going to add my alligator. If you are currently working on this project, please down below comment which step you may be on. I would love to know what progress you're doing right now. So far, these are the items that I have glued down. Now I'm going to use some miscellaneous wood that came with my canvas or so. So these little triangle pieces, I'm just going scattered about in the blank areas. And again, fun fact about Louise Nelson, a lot of her artwork pieces were made out of wooden pieces. Like, a lot of her artwork was made with wooden pieces. Okay, so now I'm just gluing down these miscellaneous pieces. So I have about, so in the pack that came with the canvas, I had like at least 6 of these wooden pieces. Not 100% sure what they're used for, I guess to like hold up the canvas a little bit. But again, never use them, but they'll be awesome for you to save for moments like these. So again, I'm still just gluing down the wooden pieces onto my cardboard. Okay. So far, got the wooden pieces glued down. Now, when you run out of miscellaneous pieces, for example, if you may have ran out of buttons or ran out of ball caps, or ran out of just like things that you were willing to use for this project, you can always turn to your handy dandy trusty, which is cardboard. So what I'm going to do with this cardboard, I'm actually going to cut some shapes out of it. I'm going to cut some triangles, probably some like organic shapes, and then I'm going to fill it into these areas that's not filled in. Fun fact about the cardboard as well, you're always welcome to build on top of it, which is pretty cool. So again, you can stack cardboard on top of each other to make it, to give it more of that 3D effect. So you can clearly see I'm cutting my circle up. I have this miscellaneous piece, I'm gonna place it right there, and then I'm going to cut another triangle-like piece. And I'm actually going to stack them on top of each other. So that's going to be my goal with my cardboard pieces, to give give it more like a 3D feel. And with the cardboard, you can cut whichever shape you want. You can do triangles, you can do squares, you can do circles, you can do stars, you can do smiley faces. It's all up to you. So I'm just cutting my cardboard down a little bit. Okay, so I have at least 4 or 5 pieces that I cut off my circle, but again, you're always welcome to cut more. Now I'm going to take my pieces and I'm going to begin gluing them onto my cardboard. Got my glue. Alright. One thing that I forgot to say, when you're gluing down your like items, don't forget to actually firmly press down to make sure they're sticking. Alright, so far these are some of the cardboard pieces that I added, and I'm going to add a couple more. Still adding my cardboard, still pressing down my items, make sure they are glued. Okay. So far, this is how my found assemblage is looking. Please let me know down below, how is your project coming along? I would like to know which step you may be on, or what items that you found that you're upcycling. Please let me know. And if you're not, please let me know just what's your highlight for today. Alright, so you can clearly see I switched it up. I found a water bottle cap, so I'm definitely going to add that there. Okay. Cut in my cardboard to size. So I stacked two pieces on top of each other so far. Alright. I'm going to cut up more pieces of cardboard right now. Still adding those miscellaneous pieces right here. Cutting the cardboard, still cutting it down. Cutting it into smaller pieces. Have these small pieces, going to glue them down in their miscellaneous areas. Got it. Gluing down. So far, I used my cardboard in the miscellaneous places. Now, if you look closer, you can see there's some smaller areas where the background is showing. I'm going to add more buttons in those smaller areas. So adding some smaller details in the crack. So, adding buttons into the smaller areas, making sure that my whole background is covered. So again, if you look right here in this corner, I'm adding more buttons to the smaller areas where I did not put cardboard or toys or water caps. Remember to try to fill up your whole backing. Who knew I'll use so many buttons? Alright, so again, continue going down those buttons or miscellaneous pieces or cardboard. Again, try to fill up as much space as you can. Try to fill up as much space as you can. Alright. Alright. I'm still gluing. Still gluing down those handy dandy buttons, y'all. Please comment below where you may be in this project. Maybe you're just gathering your materials. Maybe you are adding your materials to your background. Or maybe you are completely finished. Please let me know below which step you may be on. Okay. Still adding that handy dandy glue. Still adding these buttons. Okay. I'm going to add probably 4 to 5 more buttons, and then I'm going to show you the end result. Okay, so when you have all your items glued down onto your background, no gaps of the back should be showing. Again, make sure you fill up your whole board. I noticed that I have a little bit right here that's showing the cardboard, so I'm going to go back, add a couple buttons, and when you finish gluing down your items, you're going to set this aside and let it dry. Make sure everything is dry and stuck down, okay? So again, whenever you do finish gluing down your items from cardboard, buttons, small toys, or wooden pieces, or anything like that that you can find, you're then going to set it aside and let it dry. And during this time, if you're letting your project dry, a fun project that you can draw is if you can create one invention in this whole wide world, what would it be? So if you want to take a brain break and draw your invention that you feel like will save or cure the world, go for it. But during this time, after you glue down your items, please make sure they're all dry. If that's the idea that you are like, I'm not sure if I want to draw a invention, maybe you can even draw your fingers as tools. Maybe you can draw this finger as a screwdriver, or your thumb as a hammer. Either way it go, after you glue all your projects down, please give it a moment to dry. So I'm officially finished with gluing down my handy dandy items, and I'm going to set this aside for it to dry. Alright? As this object is drying, I'm going to use my leftover small piece of cardboard, and I'm going to make a mini assemblage or so using the leftover tools. Okay? Just a helpful hint, if you're using hot glue, it shouldn't take too long for it to dry. If you're using emerald glue, it should be at least, I will say at least 20 or 30 minutes for it to dry. And then if you're using super glue, it says on the container that it should be 10 minutes or so. But again, just make sure all your items are dry, because the final step, after everything is stuck down, everything is in place, you're going to take your handy dandy paintbrush and your handy dandy color. So again, your monochromatic color. So it can be red, blue, yellow, green, black, white, brown, whichever one you like. And you're going to take your paint, put it in some type of paint palette. I'll be using a paper plate, or you can use leftover cardboard. And you're going to paint your project one solid color. Okay? So if your project is dry and you're ready to go, you can start painting it. But again, if you just finished gluing everything down, please make sure to set it aside and let it dry. Alright, so I still have some leftover things from this project, and I'm going to use my leftover cardboard and create a smaller piece. Ooh. I already kind of like the shape this turned out too. It kind of looks like a raindrop. So that'd be pretty fun. Alright, so remember, if you don't know where to start, always start with your larger items, larger items, medium objects, and then smaller items. So my larger items are more like these toys, since I have a smaller background. Then my medium items would definitely be the medium-sized buttons that I have. And then my smaller items can be my leftover cardboard or my buttons. I hope everyone's having a good day. If you have a highlight or something cool that happened to you, or just a positive affirmation, just share it down below. I like to know how everyone's doing today. Alright, so I'm taking my object and I'm gluing it onto my background. Again, this is a smaller project because I'm letting my bigger project dry. But if your project is already dry, you're ready for the final step, which is painting it a monochromatic color. So you're painting it one color. If you want to look at any examples by the artist's name is Louise Nelson. I repeat, Louise Nelson. Nelson, not Nelson. Nelson. If you can see in my face, I just realized I mispronounced her name. So again, I'm creating a smaller piece as my piece is drying. So this is a perfect example. Make sure all your pieces are dry, because if not, they will fall off and they will move as you're painting them. Still gluing down my miscellaneous pieces. So again, this is how they're looking. Make sure they're dry. They will move if they're not. Thank you again for joining me. If you have any positive affirmations or just want to say hello, please comment below. I would definitely like to know, what have you found around your home for this project? I know for a fact that I did not know how much cardboard I had until I was looking for items to use. Also too, I realized that I had a lot of bottle caps and water bottles too, that you can upcycle, which is really nice. I know there is a really cool lesson where you can kind of make a chandelier with water bottles. You may have seen them at your local schools or just on Pinterest or anything like that. So again, don't be afraid to experiment with using found objects at home and see what you can turn them into. Who knows? You might become famous for it. Okay. I'm still making my mini one as my larger object is drying or so. Again, I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds. I can see the glue starting to fade away. I almost glued down my glue cap. That's pretty funny. Okay. This poor alligator's not trying to stay down. Okay. Okay. So here's my it so far. I'm going to see if I can try to add a few more buttons, and then I'm going to go back to my larger one and we're going to complete our final step. Again, if your project is already dry, your items are glued down, you can just hop right into the painting part. I just want to make sure that my items are dried and glued down because I just don't want them to move. So again, if you're ready, grab your color and begin painting. Fun fact, if you're having any issues with the acrylic paint or anything like that on your project, you can also use spray paint. But again, we're trying to use materials that you can find at home. It's easier to use acrylic paints inside, but if you do decide to step it up a notch, spray paint really works well on this project, especially if you're using more larger items or so forth, more of a bigger space. But again, acrylic paint works just as fine if you want to stay inside and stay safe and stay healthy. But if you want to be adventurous, you can always spray paint it outside. We don't want those fumes in here. Okay, I'm going to add a couple more buttons. And then I'm actually going to add some pom-poms as well. Just because they're cool. Again, like I was saying earlier in this video, this is really cool with like younger kids as well. So if you want to have them find a color or make a collage using colors or items that's the same, you can always do that. I kind of got the idea just now because I have this yellow pom-pom and I have this yellowish snake glue down, and it would just be really cool to find like items that are similar colors and have them come together as a puzzle as well. Alright, I'm going to give my larger project 2 more minutes to dry, and then I'm going to begin painting it. So again, here is my small, oh no, gravity happens, but here's my small little assemblage. Now I'm going to go back to my larger one. So I'm going to set this one down to dry, and now I'm going to revisit my project. Again, it looks like everything is dry. Turn it upside down, shake a little bit, nothing fell off, perfect. You take your paint palette, it can be a paper plate, it can be a piece of cardboard, it can be a piece of magazine, it can even be actual real paint palette, but either way go, you put your paint on it. Okay. So, for me, I kind of did a large glob in the center of it because I have a lot of surface to cover. Whenever you finish with your miscellaneous like things as well, you're always welcome to like start cleaning up or return them back to where you found them. Paintbrush. Paint. Now you're going to begin painting over it. Again, you're always welcome to use spray paint if you need to, but you're literally going to start covering your area with your monochromatic color that you decided to use. If you have a favorite color, you can always comment below as well. I would like to know, what's your favorite color? If you haven't noticed, in a lot of my videos, a lot of my paints are always blue, because of course that's my favorite color. So if you have one, please let me know. Okay, so I'm taking my paint and I'm beginning to cover my items. Be prepared. It might take at least 2 to 3 coats. If you have like some bright color items or you have some dark color items that you use, but make sure that you add 2 to 3 coats to make sure everything is covered. Need some more blue. One thing that can also help, if you have any issues with the background, you can always start painting your background first before you start gluing your items down. So if you want to make sure that your background is completely solid, blue, red, black, pink, or whatever, you can always paint that first and then begin gluing your items down. Okay, I'm just adding blue on top of my miscellaneous pieces. Please comment below. I would love to see the projects that you worked on, the things you created. Again, please comment that below on our Artforce page. Okay, so again, I'm just taking my paint and I'm going over my items to create them one solid color. Okay, just a little recap of what we talked about today. We talked about Louise Nelson. She was an American sculptor during the 70s or so. Really known for modern art, abstract expressionism. But either way goes, she was a cool gal known as the Boxy Lady from her found object Assemblage. Yeah, so if you want to do more research on her or do more projects inspired by her or just do projects inspired by the women of the 70s, that's perfect as well. Alright, and if you are dealing with any stress or anxiety, some helpful things you can do is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, or the 2, 7, 8 breathing. Alright, so just a recap of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is find 5 things that are around you, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 positive affirmation about yourself. And the 2, 7, 8 breathing is 2 minutes inhale, hold for 7. No. So you inhale for 2, not 2 minutes, but 2 seconds. Sorry about that, y'all. 2 seconds. Inhale, hold it for 7, and then exhale for 8. Those are some helpful things you can do at home if you need help grounding. But again, this project is inspired by found objects and things you can do at home. So currently I have made it halfway up my project, still painting it that solid color. Let me know below, which color did you decide to paint your assemblage? Did you decide red? Did you decide black? Still painting. Alright, don't forget to get in those little crevices as well. Okay, so I need a little more blue. Thank you again for everyone that tunes in today. I really enjoy it. I hope everyone's having a awesome Thursday. And I hope I have a chance to see y'all on Friday as well. Okay. I would really like to see the projects that you worked on too. Again, if you followed this lesson and you made your own found objects at home, I would love to see them on our art course page. You can comment below. Maybe you can even comment below what you like about this project or what you didn't like about this project. I know that something that I love is seeing how it all kind of comes together as like one unified piece. But if you look closely, using the super glue, it just kind of created like a web effect. So that's kind of like the con of it, but the pro is just definitely seeing your creation come together as one. Alright, whenever you finish painting, you'll set it to the side and you have completely finished your upcycle project. I really enjoy everyone stopping by to create with me today. Thank you so much. I hope you're having an awesome Thursday again, and I will love to see your projects below. So please do not be afraid to comment, share photos, or if you have any ideas about what Art Force Connections should bring to you, to your home, we'll love to hear them. Thank you. I just want to let you know I really appreciate you. Please remember to stay safe and stay healthy. And wash your hands. Please wash your hands. Alright, I'm putting one more coat. And we're done for today. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. Happy Thursday.